A new game mode, tons of adjustments, and tons of skins. Let's begin. Welcome back, guys. Let's talk about what we got last week. So last week we got the Verdant Dreams event. That is a weird nature-themed event where if you log in daily, you can receive clues, fragments, portraits, and more rewards. Also, if you complete matches, you can receive trial cards, remnants that are the kind of currency that you can use to buy some special skins, portrait frames, graffitis, and even more rewards. And if you unlock coordinates each day by completing these daily missions, you'll be able to locate hidden seeds using the mini game where you have to explore as the B tier skin for Gravekeeper some of the maps and find and dig some holes, find some items. You can get other rewards such as a B tier piece of furniture, room music, a B tier skin, and of course the B tier skin for Gravekeeper. This event is a nice event. It does have its own unique kind of character to it, and it does have quite a lot for you guys to do. Lots of missions, 3 missions a day usually seems to be how it works, so that's good. Along with this event, themed I think around this event, we got some new in-store items. We've got the Owl Seer pet, that's an A tier pet. We got the Squirrel Mechanic A tier pet, and the Red Panda Mercenary A tier pet. Which one did you buy? I personally got the Red Panda Mercenary pet. I think they're all very, very cute, and you could purchase them for echoes or for fragments, so that's always really nice. And for the first week, so before next update, so make sure you do it quickly, there is a discount for echoes. In the store, we also got Night Watch available for purchase, meaning that everyone's playing Night Watch right now. It's the Night Watch Apocalypse. He is quite a fun character, I must say. I played him on the stream. With his release in the store, he also got his B tier skin, the Captive, available for you to purchase for fragments or for echoes, and also a costume package that you could purchase, I think just for the initial week, called the Captive Costume Package, that essentially just gave you Night Watch and the skin as well. On the topic of Night Watch, they added Night Watch's deduction missions to the game, and they also added him to Duo Hunter mode, Blackjack mode, and Tarot mode. So you can now play him in all of those modes. They slightly adjusted Night Watch's Tempest Cyclone ability, that is his fast pull against survivors who are rescuing. I still think it doesn't interrupt you from rescuing, but I think it does judge better when someone lets go of the chair and does pull them towards you. I'm not really sure exactly what they changed there, but they just improved it slightly. They made it so survivors' flares won't be blocked by illusions by the decoy. I don't know what that means at all. What are the illusions and what decoy? I don't know. They improved tons of room furniture and room music quality of life options, so they just made them so it's much easier to mess around with your room, and also I think music stuff as well. And they added a secondary password verification for editing your layout. Let's talk about what we're getting this week, and it seems to be pretty unclear what we're exactly getting this week, because on the calendar that Netease released of this month, there's a massive question mark on the day of the patch note. What we do know though is that Night Watch will probably be added to rank mode, so that means that everyone will be able to rank up with Night Watch and see how high they can get. Maybe you can get yourself the first S badge for the first week. Doctor is going to be having her character day on the 17th, and Prospector is going to be having his character day on the 19th. So these characters have been around for a very long time. Doctor was one of the first characters in the game. She was part of the initial team, so that means that she's probably going to be getting quite a lot of special rewards. Now let's talk about what's coming from the future, and I have a massive list here. Let's see if we can get through all of this. First of all, things that we know are coming. On March 23rd, that is not this week but the following week, not this Thursday but the following Thursday, we're going to be getting the beginning of Orfeo's game event. I believe this is not going to actually bring the game yet. I believe that comes the following week, but this is going to be like the lead up event. There's going to be a login event that I'd assume gives us clues and stuff like that, and possibly the option to get 10 memory spheres. And then on the following week, that would be the 30th, I believe, we'll be getting a special new game mode that will possibly give us rewards such as the B tier novelist costume, a piece of furniture, an emote, unlock card, and way more. I've put it up on the screen. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about this when we get closer to the event and when there are more details on what this is all about. There is, as you guys know, there is a new game mode coming out, and it's called Orfeo's Game, and from what we can tell, it's going to be based on the game Mafia. That is a very popular game where I live here currently in Russia. It's a game based on cards and roles where there is someone that's murdered somebody and everybody else has to guess who it is before the mafia kills them. It's a very interesting game where it's like who did what, and one character is like the police officer and so on. It gets a bit confusing. I haven't really played it myself, but I've seen people play it. I'm looking forward to seeing how Netease Netease implements this into the game. So on March 30th, that will be the same day that the new game mode comes out, we're going to be getting the next essence, and they have revealed the art for it. They've revealed that there's going to be an S-tier skin for Dream Witch, looks very fancy. Possibly she might have legs instead of a snake tail, an A-tier skin for Prospector, and an A-tier skin for Entomologist, both looking very fantastic indeed. You can also see in the art what looks to be a B-tier for Lawyer, Doctor, Hellember, Gardener, and Thief. The initial squad. Wow, it's kind of weird that they're all getting skins together. Very funny. Also on March 30th, on the same day as the game event, we'll be getting the new Little Girl package that I believe is going to be an S-tier package. I believe it's not a once skin, but it is very, very fancy indeed. You can also see it in the poster of the Orfeo's game event on April 6th, so that would be the following week after that, so that's 3 weeks from now. We'll be getting more skins, such as the new once skin for Mad Eyes that looks apparently like me, is what people have told me. I have seen the picture itself. I do see some similarity, and it's very interesting to see what Burke looks like before he went to his old crazy man punched over mechanical form. He looks pretty cool and pretty normal, pretty hip actually. On that same day as well, April 6th, we'll be getting a new Ivory Tower skin, and that one's going to be for Prisoner. This is going to add to the 60 Echoes skins that are really, really nice. This is from the Chinese Weibo. We'll be getting the return of tons of once skins such as the Violinist, Ripper, Geisha, Photographer, Gravekeeper, First Officer, and Doctor once skins. And we'll be getting Ivory Tower skins returning such as the Mercenary, Gardener, Perfumer, Coordinator, and Doctor skins. So as far as I know, this hasn't been released in the English server yet, or hasn't been announced in the English server, but from what I can tell in the Weibo, this should be coming around April 6th. It might be a week after, it might be a week before, but that's still cool. Now we're going to be getting into some things where we're not exactly sure when these things will be coming. They could be coming this week, they could be coming in 2-3 weeks, could be any time. But first of all, we're getting a new event coming up sometime soon called the Ripper's Soul Emissary Theme Pet Event. That's based around the Soul Emissary's S-tier skin for Ripper. There's a new pet coming out that's apparently themed around that skin. Doesn't look anything like it. It's a sheep, it's purple, and the skin is a black skin, and it looks more like a skin for Bloody Queen instead of a skin for Ripper. I don't really know what's going on with that pet at all, but you'll be able to purchase that. I'm assuming it's probably only going to be for Echoes because there's going to be some other rewards you get if you own it, and there's also going to be a furniture piece that's based around the Soul Emissary skin. This skin is quite an old skin, so it's interesting to see that they're making some stuff for it right now. But if you have either the sheep pet or you have the furniture based around the Soul Emissary skin, you'll get as a reward a portrait frame and a dynamic portrait frame for free. You can also, I think, get them by completing tasks. Another skin, yet again, is coming out sometime soon, but this is going to be out outside of the game, is the Embalmer Anniversary Gift Box package that you'll be able to purchase. Like every year around the anniversary time, they release a special fancy skin. Last year's, I believe, was Sears. If you spend money, you can purchase a gift box outside of the game and get it delivered to you, and then you'll get some stuff outside of the game and also in the game based around the Truth and Inference kind of story lore. And this year's one is going to be for Embalmer. Some new things that you guys might be excited for is they're going to be adding some new stuff to the game. They're going to be adding new login rewards for people who have logged in for more than 1,500 days. I'm creeping up to 1,000 days here, so I'm not going to be getting this reward anytime soon. It's going to take me a year or so before that ever happens. You'll be seeing all of these rewards on the screen right now. They'll be adding a new item to the Intimacy store that is the Give Me 5 emote that is an interactable between all survivors, like the hug emote for Patient and Psychologist. This is going to be an interaction that you'll be able to do with any survivor. I actually guessed that this is what they were going to do last week. I think I even mentioned a Give Me 5 emote. They'll be adding some new items to the Spyglass store, including new emotes, new accessories, and new graffitis. They're also going to be adding a new Echo Recharge reward. That's kind of interesting. I wonder what they're going to be doing here. They're going to be adding an 8-tier accessory called Ink that's possibly going to change your bleeding out animation. There are rumors that it's going to be for all survivors to use. They're adding a new furniture piece reward and another reward that they haven't actually announced. This has a question mark on it. They're adding a new double training mode that I think is a 1v1 mode, and this is going to be good, I think, because it will let you customize items and how many items that person has and stuff like that. They're also adding a new third emote wheel. We talked about this previously. They already told us that this was going to happen, but it's now confirmed once again to be confirmed. It's confirmed twice, I guess, and they've told us about some adjustments. Looks like a lot of hunters are going to be getting buffed at the end of this season. Undead, Evil Reptilian, Gamekeeper, and Wuchang will be receiving buffs. A lot of them I'm very happy with. Some of them, some changes are very interesting. Gamekeeper's one he has quite a lot of changes happening to him, and so do Wuchang. Prospector, Antiquarian, Mechanic, Prisoner, Female Dancer, and Explorer will be receiving nerfs and adjustments to their abilities. I'm showing them on the screen. We'll talk a little bit more about them when we get closer to the actual announcement of when these things are going to be added to the game. We'll talk about any numbers that change as well. They are also going to be changing some of the persona web traits to adjusting some of the numbers on them and adding new effects to some of them. For example, Weber's Law is going to receive a nerf. This is a survivor persona web trait. Herd behavior is also going to be receiving a slight nerf. Addiction, that is a hunter trait, will be getting a small buff and a little bit of a new ability, I believe. And the full ability of Control Freak, there are two different Control Freaks on the hunter persona web, that one is going to receive a small buff. They also are going to adjust spawn point logic and interactions with excitement. And since they're also going to be adjusting the persona web, it might be a little bit more difficult for you guys to know what has been changed and what hasn't. So you might want to practice your skills at knowing what those persona web traits do by watching this video over here that you'll be showing on the screen, where you have to guess what persona web traits I'm using.